Hi everyone, welcome to this Power Pilates workout today. I'm so happy to have you in my class, and when you're ready, come and we're going to get started at the bottom edge of our mat. We're going to start with a roll down. So I want you to exhale and roll down vertebra by vertebra, touching your toes, and then we're going to step out into a plank position. Coming into our plank position, we're going to push back into a pike, and then we're going to pedal out our heels here, waking up our legs, waking up our hamstrings, waking up our shoulders. Enjoy this nice stretch at the back of your legs. And then we're going to push forward into a 4-point kneeling position, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, and we're going to do some swimming preps. So we're going to extend opposite arm and opposite leg, and then they're going to meet in the center, creating a crunch. I want you to inhale as you extend opposite arm and opposite leg. Exhale as you crunch in the center, rounding your back. Let's do another 5 on this side. Think of creating that length rather than that height, and also think about really engaging the abdominals when you crunch in the center. We're almost there. This is our last one, and then we're going to extend our arm and leg out again and lower. Well done, guys. We're going to now do this on the other side. So extend opposite arm and leg, keeping that center, that core engaged. And when I speak about core engagement, lift your pelvic floor. Make sure that your transverse abdominis is drawing in, your belly button is the spine, and your ribs are down. Exhale to crunch in, inhale to extend opposite arm and leg, making sure that there's no arching in the back as you extend your arm and leg. Think about that length rather than that height. Well done, guys. We're now going to come into a knee hover, so I want you to tuck your toes under, and we're going to lift our knees a few inches off the ground. We're going to push back and then shift forward again. On your inhale, I want you to push back. Exhale, you're going to shift forward again, keeping your knees hovering off the mat. Your spine is straight. We're warming up your legs here, we're warming up your shoulders. So stay with me. Today's class is going to be a good one. Well done. We're now going to come into a kneeling position. So I want you to bring your knees apart and your feet together. You can rest your hands on your hips here. We're going to come into a seated squat. And when we lift up, we're only going to lift up about halfway and then lower again. So exhale as you lift up. Inhale as you lower back down. Keeping your spine straight here. You'll feel this in your quads. Let's do another 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to come into some full extension. So we're going to lift all the way up now and lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower, keeping our spine straight, our core is engaged, belly button to spine. I'm sure you can feel this in your quads by now. I know I was. It's a good burn though. Let's do another 3 more. Last 2. Last one. You're doing so well. And then we're going to stay lifted. We're going to bring our knees about hip width distance apart. We're going to extend our arms parallel to the mat, and we're going to hinge back. Inhale to hinge back, exhale to come forward. Making sure that you're not dropping in the glutes. You are hinging from your knees here. The core is engaged, spine is straight. Don't drop your glutes. Let's do another 4 here. Remember not to bunch your shoulders up to your ears. Last 3. Last 2. And on the last one, we're going to hold back and we're going to do pulses back. Just 10 little pulses here. Stay with me. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, guys. We're now going to come down onto the mat, onto our left hip. We're going to make sure our legs are bent. Hand can be on top of our knee, and we're going to lift up and over into a side bend. Exhale, lift up and over. Inhale, lower back down. You can feel this in your obliques, in your underneath glute. Let's do another 6. And when you lift your hips up, make sure that you are lifting your hips up to the ceiling, creating that arch shape. Last 4. Last 3. 2. And now on our last one, we're going to stay lifted. We're going to extend the arm to the ceiling, and then we're going to rotate it underneath our waist and extend again. So we're creating that rotation. Exhale to rotate. Inhale to lengthen again. Keep your hips up. Let's do another 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guess what, guys? We're going to stay with our hips up. We're now going to lift our top leg up and lower again. So exhale to lift, inhale to lower, keeping our core engaged. Our hips are staying up. I know you'll feel this in your underneath glute as well. Last 3, 2, and on our last one, we're going to keep our leg lifted. We're going to extend and we're going to bend. So inhale to extend, exhale to bend. Keeping your hips up. Your weight is in your left knee and your left hand. You'll definitely start feeling this in your obliques and your left shoulder. Last 2. And on our last one, we're going to keep our leg extended, and then we're going to just tap the floor and lift again. So exhale to lift, inhale to lower the leg. Keeping your hips stable, making sure that you're not dropping your hips as you lift up your leg. This movement is coming from your right hip. Keep your leg elevated, and we're going to do little pulses to the ceiling now. Little exhales as you pulse up. I know you must be feeling this. Well done, guys. You can now lower back down. Getting ready for our next exercise, because this is a fast-paced class. It's Power Pilates after all. We're going to come into a plank and then walk into a knee hover. Always keeping our knees off the mat, making sure that our spine is in one straight long line. Exhale to bring your knees in. Inhale to extend your legs again, coming into your plank position. Let's do another 5, 4, alternating, leading legs each time. 3, last 2, and on our last one now, we're going to stay in our knee hover and we're going to pulse up. Pulse those glutes up to the ceiling. Staying in your knee hover though, we're not going into a pike. And now we're going to pulse down. Little exhales as you pulse down, keeping your core engaged here. Your spine is straight. Well done, guys. Lower your knees and push back into a shell stretch. Just taking one breath here before we go and do that all over again, starting with our side bends. Rolling back up now, we're going to come down onto our left hip. Making sure our knees are bent. We're going to lift up and over into our side bend. Exhale to lift up. Inhale to lower back down. Making sure that you feel this in your shoulder, in your obliques, in your side glutes. Let's do 6 more. 5, 4, 3, last 2. And on our last one now, we're going to stay up in our side bend. We're going to do our rotations. So we're going to exhale to rotate. Inhale to extend our arm up again. Staying up, making sure our hips stay elevated. Let's do 6 more. 5, 4. It's so important to add some rotation into your workouts. Last 2. And on our last one now, we're going to stay elevated and we're going to lift and lower our top leg. So exhale to lift your top leg. Inhale to lower back down, keeping your hips up, making sure that you're not lowering them, but you can feel that bottom oblique work. Pushing up out of your shoulder. Last 2 here. And on our last one, we're going to keep our leg elevated and we're going to extend and bend our leg. So inhale to extend your leg. Exhale to bend your leg. Keep your hips up. Keep your spine straight. The weight is in your hand and in your knee. We're now going to keep our leg extended and we're going to tap the floor and lift again. Making sure you're not dropping your hip as you lift your leg up. The movement's coming from your hip. 4, 3, 2, and on our last one, keep your leg up and let's do pulses to the ceiling. I know it's getting tricky now, you're getting tired, but we are almost done here and then you can rest your hip down. Well done guys, rest. And we're going to come back into another plank series. So come into your plank and we're just going to step out, alternating feet each time, making sure that you are staying in your plank position, your core is engaged, your hips aren't piked up. Let's do another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then we're going to come back into our knee hovers and we're going to pulse up to the ceiling. Just 10 pulses up. Feeling this in our core, in our shoulders, and then guess what guys, we're going to pulse down. Just 10 pulses down, we're almost done, and then we get to push back into a yummy shell stretch. Well done guys, open your knees and push back into a shell stretch. Taking a breath here before we carry on with our Power Pilates class. Roll up vertebra by vertebra to seated. We're now going to come into our ab series for today's class. So come to seated on your glutes and then we're going to roll down onto our backs. I want you to bring your legs to tabletop, one leg at a time. Our hands are going to be behind our heads. We're then going to tap one foot at a time as we lift and curl up into our ab curl. So we're just alternating legs here. Exhale as we lift up into our ab curl. Inhale as we lower our head back down. Let's do another 4, 3, 2, last one. We're going to keep our head up in our ab curl and we're going to do some single leg stretches. So we're going to alternate legs. I want you to inhale as you start to switch your legs. Exhale as you bring your knee towards your chest. Keeping up in your ab curl here. Making sure that your gaze is towards your knees so that you don't hurt your neck. Well done. Let's come into our scissor switches. You can put your hands behind your head here and we're just going to switch. Little exhales as we bring our leg toward our chest. Inhale as we start to switch. Well done, guys. We can now bend our left leg and extend our right leg down towards the mat, and then we're going to bring our left arm to meet our right leg, lifting up and over and twisting. Exhale as you lift up and over and twist. Inhale as you come back to center. Let's do another 6 here, keeping your back pressed flat towards the mat. 5. Last 4. 3. 2. Last 1. Well done. We're now going to come into a single leg teaser, so I want you to glue your thighs together, and then we're going to extend our arms overhead. We're going to inhale to bring our arms up, exhale, roll up vertebra by vertebra. Inhale, hands come to ears, exhale to roll back down, vertebra by vertebra. Think of doing this as slow and controlled as possible. We have another 3 more to go here. Working with your abs. Last 2. Exhale to roll up, exhale to roll back down. Let's do 1 more. Well done. That was a challenging one. We're now going to do this on the other side, so I want you to extend your left leg long across the mat, and then we're going to bring our right arm to meet our left leg, coming up and over. Exhale to twist. Inhale to lower back down, keeping your back pressed flat against the mat. We want to keep that imprinted spine here. Let's do 5 more. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. We're going to lower back down. We're going to glue our inner thighs together, coming into our single leg teaser. Arms come overhead, and then we're going to roll up through our spine, vertebra by vertebra, coming onto the back of our sit bones, and then we're going to lower back down. So inhale as you bring your arms up, exhale as you roll up through your spine. Inhale, arms come to ears, exhale, roll back down. Let's do another 3 here, following your breath. Last 2. You are doing so well. This is a very challenging exercise. Last 1 here, and then we can give our abs a little bit of a rest. Well done. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Just take that break, take that release. And we're going to roll up to seated. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a break, because now we're going to come into our next exercise, which is a plank, and then we're going to bring our knee towards our elbow. Feeling a crunch in our obliques here. Exhale as you bring knee towards elbow. Staying low in your plank. You're not in a pike here. Last 2. Last 1, and then we're going to push back to a pike. Take a moment, and then we're going to come forward into our plank again. We're going to bring knee to opposite elbow, and then move across to our other elbow. Feeling the crunch in the center. Staying low in our plank, making sure that our core is engaged here. We're not piking our hips up towards the ceiling, but our spine is in one straight long line. Let's do another 3 here. Last 1. Well done. Push back into a pike. We're almost done with this plank series, so stay with me. We're now going to bring our knee towards our chest, coming into some mountain climbers. You can pick up the pace here, go as fast as you want to go. Little exhales as you bring your knee towards your chest. Well done, guys. Push back into a shell stretch. Take a breath, take a moment. Enjoy this rest before we carry on with the class. Roll up through your spine, and then we're going to come into some glute work. So we're going to start with our right leg. We're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and then we're going to extend our right leg. Keeping our core engaged here, lifting up through the pelvic floor, drawing your ribs down. Your transverse abdominis is in tight like a corset, and there's no arching in your back. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Making sure to create that length in your leg. Slow and controlled movements. Keep your leg extended, and then we're going to bend it, flexing our foot, doing 5 little pulses towards the ceiling here. Extend our leg and bend it again. Doing 5 pulses to the ceiling, little exhales as you pulse up. Let's extend and bend again. Carrying on like this. We have another 2 to go. Burning out those glutes. Last one here, 5 pulses towards the ceiling. Extend and bend. We're now going to lower our leg down and come into some hip circles. Circling from the hip. Exhale for half the circle, inhale for the other half. We're now going to go into the opposite direction. So lift, circle, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, circle around. Let's do another 2 here. Last one. Well done. We're now going to come down into a prone position on our tummies, and we're going to lift and lower our right leg. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower, feeling it in our right glute. Let's do another 4, 3, 2, last one. Well done. Lower your leg, and then we're going to come bringing our arms into like a W shape. We're going to push up into a swan dive, into some back extension, making sure that as we extend our spine, we're not locking out at our elbows, but there's a soft bend in our elbows even as we extend up. Inhale to extend up, exhale to lower back down. Feeling this in our triceps. Last 3, 2, last one. Well done, guys. We're going to push back up, and now we're going to do some push-ups, making sure our hands are about mat distance apart, and then we're going to inhale to lower down, exhale to push up. You're welcome to do this on your knees, keeping your spine straight in one long line. Last 2, last one, and then push back into a well-deserved shell stretch. Stretching out your shoulders, stretching out your glutes here. Perfect. Let's do our glute series on the other side now. We're going to work our left hand side, so coming down into a 4-point kneeling position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to extend our left leg out behind us and bend it again. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower, keeping that core engagement. Your spine is straight, there's no arching in your spine even as you lift your leg, but you are keeping that tight core. Let's do another 5, 4, 3, 2, and on our last one now, we're going to bend our leg, flexing our foot. We're going to do 5 pulses towards the ceiling, extend our leg and bend it again, doing another 5 pulses towards the ceiling. Little exhales as you pulse up, inhale as you extend, exhale as you pulse up. Let's do another 3 here, keeping your belly button towards your spine. Last 2, 5 pulses up. Last 1. We're now going to come into our hip circles, so I want you to exhale as you lift your leg, inhale as you lower. Let's do another 3 in this direction. Last 2. Last 1. And now we're going to change up the direction. So exhale to lift, inhale to circle around. Let's do another 3 here. 2. Last 1. Well done. Let's lower down onto our tummies, coming into our leg extension. So we're going to lift and lower our left leg. Remember that this movement comes from the hip, it comes from the glute, so no bending your knee. Try and keep your leg as straight as you possibly can. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Last 3, 2, last 1. Well done. We're now going to come into some breaststroke. We're going to extend our hands out in front of us, and then we're going to circle them around. Exhale as you dive down, inhale as you circle your arms around, extending your spine, coming up for air. Think of this as you are swimming underwater. Let's do 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. We're almost done for today's class. We're now going to come into some tricep push-ups, so I want you to bring your hands about shoulder width apart, and we're going to inhale and lower, exhale to lift back up. Let's do another 8 here. You are doing so well. Let's do another 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1, and then we get to push back into a nice shell stretch. Yay! Well done, guys. You have done so well in today's class. I know it was fast-paced and it was challenging at times, but you got through it. And now we're going to come into a nice cool down. We're going to come into a mermaid stretch. So I want you to bring your right leg in front of you. And then we're going to do some lateral flexion. So we're going to do a side bend towards the right and then towards the left. Let's do that again. And then one more time. We're going to hold in our side bend here. Extend your right arm so that's parallel with the floor. And then we're going to close, coming into a twist. Inhale to open, exhale to close, coming into our twist. Last one here. Well done. Let's do some hip mobility now. So bring your hands behind you, and we're just going to drop our knees side to side, feeling a nice release in our hips, in our glutes. Well done. So now let's bring our left leg in front of us. We're going to come into our mermaid stretch again, starting with the lateral flexion. Let's do another 2 each side. Last one. Extend your arm out parallel, and then we're going to close and then open. Exhale to close, coming into your twist. Inhale to open again. Let's do one more. Well done. Let's do our hip rolls again, hip mobility. Dropping our knees from side to side. Feeling a nice cool down after that workout. Well done, guys. Let's come into a shell stretch, just releasing here. We are done for today's class. Take one last breath. And then we're going to roll up vertebra by vertebra to seated. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. I'm so glad to have you. If you have liked this video, please subscribe down below. Give me a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.